Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Now Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. So this morning I dropped a video on how to fix a v-neck, and some of you guys, my wonderful followers on YouTube, were requesting that I should also make a video on how to cut a v-neck. That's why I'm doing this video, to illustrate and show us how to cut a v-neck. So if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn your notification bell on for much more interesting videos. So without wasting time, we'll go straight into cutting our v-neck. I'm going to show us how to cut a v-neck. So for cutting a v-neck, let's consider these measurements for these practicals we want to do. We're using a shoulder of 14. We are using chest of 34, and we are using we are using let's use now the neck. Rather, the neck, let's use the depth of 6 and a width of let's use 5. So we're considering shoulder of 14. Basically, these are the two basic measurements you need for what we want to do now: the depth of the neck and the width. But we'll just consider the shoulder, and also that we'll cut out the shoulder to make it appear much more standard for us to understand. So, like I've always told us, when you want to cut anything, please ensure that you first of all remove ½ inch from the neckline here, ½ inch here, from the shoulder line, sorry, ½ inch, before we go on to take our measurement. So the next thing we're going to do is to slant this in by 3 inches. By the way, I folded my fabric into 2. You see this fabric? I folded into 2, and because our chest is 34, if you divide 34 by 4 when cutting the top, you divide 34 your chest by 4. If you divide 34 by 4, you'll be having 8.5. So you see, this is 8.5. We have allowance. This is seam allowance. All right. So I put it into 2 using 8.5, because we multiply the half by 4, you have 34, which is your chest. So after slanting your chest in by 3 inches, this is shoulder in by 3 inches. The next thing we'll do is to locate our shoulder. Our shoulder is what? 14. 14 divided by 2. When you are cutting, divide shoulder by 2. 14 divided by 2 will give you 7. Ideally, this is our 7. Ideally, this is our 7 plus seam allowance becomes 7.5. So this is where we slanted the shoulder down. This is our shoulder, so we'll join it back to this point here. You see, so we've gotten our shoulder line. So the next thing we'll do now, after getting our shoulder line, the next thing we'll do is to now let's forget about the arm and the bust. We are focused on knowing how to cut our neck. So let's not waste time going to locate the arm. I've done that in another of my videos, how to locate the arm perfectly, and since we're not cutting a complete top, let's just focus on what we're here for. So for our neck now, we say we're considering a depth of 6 and a width of 5. So depth of 6, this is 6. This is 6 right here. See? This is 6. And wideness of what? 5. So since it's 5, this is what? 2.5. This is 2.5. We give you 2.5 plus 1/2 will give you 5. So the next thing you will do, now listen, I'm going to show you something here very important. The next thing you will do is to join this line, this point here to this point. But this is not all. Join this point to this point. But this is not all. In the sense that now, if this neck, this V-neck now, when you want to sew it, if you are just going to turn it in, like you are not going to fix. I dropped a video on how to pipe a V-neck. If you are not going to pipe the V-neck separately, you know, something like this, you're not going to pipe it separately, then you will not do this, and I'm showing you. But if you are going to pipe it separately, then you add the ones I want to add. Piping separately simply means you are going to cut another piece of cloth. You are going to cut another piece and fix and use it to pipe the neck, just like I did in my last video. The video I did on how to pipe the neck. Please don't get lost. So if you are just sewing it and turning it inside, you are not piping it, the V-neck, you're not piping with any other color, that's okay. But if you want to pipe it like the video I dropped, I'm making emphasis to that video so that you understand what I'm saying. The video I dropped, I used a milk color to pipe a check fabric, to pipe a V-neck on a check fabric. You check that video, how to pipe this a V-neck, how to pipe a V-neck, you see it. If you are not doing it like that, then don't add this allowance I'm adding. But if you are doing it like that, you need to add this allowance. So for the sake of piping it, because if for instance now the fabric you're using to pipe this V-neck, you want it's going to be 1 inch wide, it means you are going to cut this and add an allowance of what? Allowance of 1/2 inch right here. You're going to add this neck by 1/2 inch. Both the width and the depth, even the depth, you add it by 1/2 inch, so that by the time, let me show you what I'm saying. You're going to add it by 1/2 inch. You're going to add it by 1/2 inch. Okay, so this is what I was saying. You see, this very neck, this tutorial I dropped this, I showed you how to pipe this neck. Now, if you are going to pipe your V-neck like this, it means you are going to add this 1/2 inch, because when you bring this piping in, it will close the neck, both the wideness and the depth. You see, the original way when this neck was cut, originally it was somewhere around here. It was somewhere around, the wideness was somewhere around here. You understand? So we can tell that it has increased by 1/2 inch. The wideness has reduced by 1/2 inch, and the depth as well was somewhere like here. But with bringing this piping in now, it has reduced both the depth and the wideness. That's what I'm saying. So if you add this 1/2 inch now, it will help you so that by the time you bring in this piping, the neck will now become originally the size you want it to be. But if you just use this 2.5 by 6, when you fix this piping, it will reduce to less than 2 by something around 4.5 or something. So it won't be as wide as you want it. I don't know if you understand. It won't be as wide and deep as you had wanted it. So when you get your perfect measurement on how you want your neck to be, wideness of, for instance, for here we're using wideness of 5, which is 2.5 divided by 2, depth of 6. When you get it, you now add 1/2 inch. So now you are going to cut on this 1/2 inch. You see, I'm not going to cut on this first normal, you know, measurement I used. Please, hope you understand. So I'm going to cut it like this. Let's just assume an arm of, so that we can cut it out and cut the back piece. Let's just assume an arm of 7. Our boss will say this 8.5 plus seam allowance, let's do it 9, thereabouts. So let's assume an arm there, because I want us to cut the back piece as well, so that you understand it all better. You don't actually need this arm, it's just for you to understand better. That's why I'm doing that. So let's just start from here. So now when we come to the back piece, this is our back piece. When we come to the back piece, all we need to do is to keep this here and slant our neck. When you are slanting, please don't cut from here. Extend it by minimum of 1.5 inch, then you cut down. Alright, so now push it down a little. It can be 2 inches, okay, 2 inches is fine, just 2 inches. Push it down, push the front piece down by 2 inches, then you fold. Alright, you fold it in, and then you can now mark your back piece. And this back piece shouldn't be deeper than 1 inch. Alright, 1 inch is fine, shouldn't be deeper than 1 inch. So cut it from here, and this is 1 inch from the top. This is 1 inch, so we're going to connect this 1 inch to this place, so that we'll have something of this nature. Alright, so you see, this is how to cut a V neck. It's as simple and straightforward as this. So when you are putting this V-neck now, it means you're going to put it round. There are different ways of putting it. There's another way that when you're putting, you have to, like when you're cutting, you have to give allowance of like 1/2 inch and cut somewhere. This back you have to come somewhere like here. You know, it depends. That is, if you're not putting the V-neck to go all the way to the back, if it's just to the front. But if the piping is going all the way to the back, then you can just cut it normal like this, but you still pipe it all the way to the back. So I think that's all for V-neck. If you like the video made sense. Now this is our V-neck, you can see. If the video made sense, you can hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell on. So it's what I'm showing you. So this is the V-neck. This is the one we just cut now. This is the one I did video that day, you see. So all you need to do is just to carry whatever piece you want to use, following this method I showed you, and then you pipe your neck. Thank you so much. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and like my videos. Thank you so much.